about where you identify with a particular team member, or maybe you've got a few of them at the moment, that they're just not the right fit for your workshop or your culture, and what steps you need to take in order to rectify that situation. Now, basically, there's a little saying that comes to mind, which is brave enough to see it, brave enough to be it. So there are many of you who would see in some of your team members that they are not the right fit because they don't have the technical skills, or they have poor workmanship, poor attention to detail, or they just exhibit some behaviours that you know are just not a match for the culture that you're trying to build. Now, it's one thing to see all of those things. It's another thing to step into the leadership that you need to have in order to rectify the situation. Now, you don't always need to immediately decide that that person needs to be moved on. What sometimes needs to happen is you actually need to take a step back and ask yourself, have you done everything you can in your capacity as the leader to help that person succeed? Now, 9 times out of 10, the first time you ask yourself that question, the answer is no, I haven't done everything I can. Maybe when that person came in, you didn't have enough time to train them correctly in the way things that you'd like to be done, particularly if they're an apprentice. You may have decided to bring somebody in that had a great attitude but didn't have all the skills you needed, perhaps in the service advisor role or whatever you have working out in your front office. But recognizing that, you could give them additional training, and that could be all they need to boost their confidence to be able to do the job as you would like. However, if you're in a situation where you know that you have given this person the best of what you have on offer in terms of training, time that you've dedicated to them, or time that another member of team has dedicated to them, but it still isn't changing the outcome. Now, this is particularly important to think about where you deem this person to be a nice person, they're a good person. But if you're still either having to get somebody else to do the work that they should be doing, or you're having to do that work yourself because no amount of training has helped this person come up to speed, then that's the situation where you need to be brave enough to make the call to move that person on. Now, we've spoken to a number of people in the last week that are currently holding someone in a position because they feel like they've put too much time into them to let them go, but they acknowledge that this person isn't right. Now, all that's doing is ensuring that you'll have to keep doing their work, or somebody else in the team will have to keep doing their work. And it means that you're not actively recruiting to find somebody else. In this situation, you are better off going a man down because you're doing the work anyway and recruiting to fill that role than you are keeping the wrong person in that position. So if you're brave enough to see what's going on and to be able to call it, then you need to be brave enough to do what you need to do as a leader, put the business first, put your other team members first that are picking up the slack, and move that person on. So you may need to performance manage them out of the role. Particularly here in Australia, there's fair work requirements that you've got to follow. So, if it is just that they cannot get the hang of it, you will need to go through the written warning process. There are obviously ways that conversations that you can have to encourage somebody to deselect. If the written warning process is taking you too long, you should always get advice from your employment consultant, from your federal body like the AAA, if you're a member, from your state body, MTA, IAME, whoever gives you your HR advice, and of course, and Fair Work as well, before moving anybody on. But you need to make the decision first that it needs to be done. Sometimes really nice people just aren't the right fit for us. And we should not continue to wear the burden of that in our business. It costs us time, it costs us money, and the right person can't come and work for us if we're holding the wrong person in there. Hello to those of you that are on live with me at the moment. Just type live into the comments so that I know that you watched it live, or replay if you managed to catch it later. So if you just jumped on, what we're talking about is identifying that you have somebody in the team that's not up to scratch. In the first instance, asking yourself, have you done everything you can to help this person succeed? If you haven't, because you haven't had enough time or you didn't have the right systems in place, then you need to go and rectify that and spend the time, create the systems so that this person can succeed in their role. If you believe you've done everything you can and this person still isn't performing, then you need to be brave enough to step into the leadership position that you have as the owner, and you need to start performance managing this person out of the business. Now, that is a process that you need to follow strictly in Australia, as well as quite strictly in New Zealand. And basically, you're only holding your business back every day that you delay it. So for those of you that are in that spot, make a commitment to yourself today that you will either do what you need to do to help this person succeed, or you will start the process to move them on so that you can get the right person in there. Now, as you would have seen, we have a free 5-day challenge starting on Monday. And if you haven't quite had the organised start to 2021 that you would like, then I highly recommend that you jump into the free challenge. You'll get an email every day with a video from me helping you go through one exercise that's going to get you the clarity that you need on 2021 to really jump in and work towards the results that you need. So we're going to put the link for that here with the video. Make sure you click on it, register. As I said, it's free, and why wouldn't you jump in when it's free? All right, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. Hope that was useful for you. Let me know, and we'll see you in the group again very soon.